Brian Shaffer, The Unseen Exit and the Lingering Mystery. In the quiet city of Columbus, Ohio, Brian Shaffer's life took a chilling turn into the abyss of the unexplained. A medical student on the brink of his career, he vanished from a local bar, seemingly swallowed by thin air, as CCTV failed to record his exit. His cell phone, however, broke the silence with eerie pings days later. 100 interviews, countless theories, yet no solid leads have emerged from the depths of this enigma. Shaffer's haunting disappearance remains shrouded in an impenetrable cloak of suspense and mystery. Brian was the son of Randy and Renee Shaffer, and he had a younger brother named Derek. Described as a free-spirited, intelligent, outgoing, and humorous individual, Brian shared a special bond with his mother Renee, who served as his inspiration to pursue a career in the medical field. His life took a significant turn when he began dating Alexis Wagoner, a fellow medical student. Their relationship was rapidly becoming serious, and there were expectations of an imminent engagement. However, tragedy struck the family when Renee was diagnosed with myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS, a rare blood cancer, and passed away on March 6, 2006. Brian Shaffer was grappling with emotional turmoil following his mother's untimely death. His thoughts swung between extremes, from suggesting an impromptu escape with his girlfriend, Alexis, to advising her to move on as he found himself spiraling into darkness. Nevertheless, the bond they shared held strong and they eagerly anticipated their upcoming trip to Miami, a glimmer of hope amid the sorrow. His finals came to an end, signaling the start of spring break and providing a much-needed reprieve from the academic stress. That night, Brian had dinner with his father, Randy, a celebration tinged with exhaustion from long study nights and lingering grief. Later, he joined his friend William Clint Florence for a night out that included a stop at the Ugly Tuna Saloon, a popular bar in Columbus, Ohio. An unknown disagreement erupted between Brian and Clint that night, culminating with Brian walking away. In the early hours, Brian's absence was noted by Clint and their friend Meredith Reed. Despite a thorough search of the bar and several unanswered calls, Brian was nowhere to be found. Assuming he had walked back home, they left, marking the beginning of a mystery that would baffle investigators and loved ones alike. His continued silence over the following days, and his failure to appear at the airport for the Miami trip, led to the chilling realization that Brian Shaffer had vanished without a trace. The investigation into Brian's disappearance quickly focused on the surveillance footage from the Ugly Tuna Saloon, as it held the last known images of him. However, the footage revealed a puzzling paradox. Brian was seen outside the bar just before 2 a.m., engaging in a conversation with two women, but he was never captured on camera leaving the bar. No subsequent footage of him in or around the area has ever been found. The mystery deepened when Sergeant John Hurst, the former lead detective on the case, revealed the existence of a potential jump cut in the surveillance footage. This jump cut suggested that the camera had been overridden, leading to speculation that crucial moments might have been removed to conceal something significant. Nevertheless, another employee stationed at the emergency exit that night claimed that no one attempted to use the exit during that time, raising further questions about the circumstances surrounding Brian's departure from the bar. Adding to the intrigue, there were other exits from the bar, including one that led to a construction site. Some theorized that Brian might have wandered into the site while intoxicated and met with an accident. However, the area was meticulously searched, including the use of cadaver dogs, and no evidence of his presence was found. Amidst the confusion surrounding the surveillance footage, another enigma emerged: the phone call mystery. After Brian's disappearance, his girlfriend Alexis continued calling his cell phone every night for months. Usually, the calls went unanswered and straight to voicemail. However, 3 months after his vanishing act, the phone unexpectedly rang 3 times without any response. Investigator revealed that the cell phone pinged a tower in Hilliard, approximately 14 miles away from the ugly tuna saloon. This bizarre occurrence led to speculations about the state of Brian's phone and the possibility that someone else might have had possession of it. The unanswered questions regarding the phone call ring added yet another layer of complexity to the investigation. A critical piece of information often overlooked in this case is the evidence of cell phone pings from Brian's phone days after his disappearance. Unlike the reported phone ring in Hilliard that was considered a network error, these pings occurred regularly and in close proximity to where Brian disappeared. This indicates that his phone was switched on after he vanished, implying that he likely exited the building. Therefore, we can reasonably dismiss the theory that he was trapped in the building's construction site. The cell phone pings provide a compelling argument against theories suggesting that Brian may have drowned, as his phone, presumably ruined by water, continued to ping after his disappearance. One of these pings even originated from the area of Fisher Commons Apartments, where one of Brian's friends lived, suggesting he might have visited or been taken there that night. One plausible theory is that Brian met with foul play outside the bar. The bustling area around the ugly tuna saloon created an opportune environment for a potential perpetrator. His glaring absence from the bar's exit CCTV feeds suggests that Brian could have been coerced out through an unmonitored exit or into a nearby vehicle. The meticulously planned crime may have left no trace of a body or tangible evidence, adding to the case's complexity. But this theory is ensnared in the demand for concrete proof, allowing the suspicion of foul play to persist, yet frustratingly leaving justice unattained. Continuing the foul play theory, the trail ventures into even more chilling territory. A cryptic note left in Brian's father's obituary further complicates the mystery. The message bizarrely claimed that Brian was alive in the Virgin Islands, leading to conjecture that the individual potentially responsible for his disappearance, perhaps in possession of Brian's phone, could have penned this ominous message. This psychological warfare, a tactic often deployed by hardened criminals, hints at the chilling possibility of a deeply twisted perpetrator involved in this case. Despite these theories, we cannot overlook an underemphasized detail in the case. Former lead detective, Sergeant John Hurst, admitted during a CNN special that one dumpster outside the ugly tuna saloon, the bar where Brian was last seen, was not searched before garbage collection, leading to its contents being sent to a landfill in Tennessee. This lends credence to the possibility of Brian's body being in the landfill, even though debates persist about the effectiveness of landfill searches and the likelihood of missing a body. The investigation into Brian Shaffer's disappearance wove a complex web of interviews and suspicions, yet yielded frustratingly few leads. Over 100 people were interviewed, including the last 2 women Brian was seen conversing with, but their accounts shed no significant light on the circumstances of his disappearance. Unsettling suspicion fell on Brian's friend, Clint, whose decision to halt cooperation with the police, following legal advice, only added to the intrigue. Despite this, no tangible evidence surfaced to substantiate any culpability on Clint's part. The persistent ambiguities surrounding the Brian Shaffer case have led some to posit that the authorities, in particular the local police, may be concealing vital information, thereby deepening the enigma. There's a palpable sense of frustration and suspicion among those following the case, echoing the sentiments of many who believe the key to unraveling Brian's disappearance lies hidden within the unrevealed details of the investigation. Similarities to the Tara Grinstead case, which remained unsolved for over a decade before a breakthrough, only stoked these suspicions further. Could there be undisclosed evidence that might explain why Brian's case has remained unresolved for so long without any charges? The possibility of a killer taking the secret to the grave becomes a haunting specter with each passing year. Calls for renewed public attention are mounting, reminiscent of the significant impact of media productions such as the Up and Vanished podcast on the Grinstead case. The complexities of Brian's disappearance beg for the spotlight once more, in the hope that pressure could extract more answers and prompt further action. The enigmatic case of Brian Shaffer is a reminder of the intricate webs that unsolved mysteries can weave. Each plausible theory brings with it a set of questions, contradictions, and possibilities, underscoring the need for meticulous analysis and investigation. Until definitive evidence is found, these theories represent our best attempts at making sense of a tragic and bewildering disappearance. What do you think about the theory that Brian may have exited the building due to the evidence of his cell phone pings? How do you make sense of the idea that Brian could have met foul play outside the bar in a crowd, considering the lack of concrete evidence? And what are your thoughts on the perplexing note left on Brian's father's obituary, potentially hinting at a cold-blooded criminal taunting the family? We value your opinions and theories, so please share them in the comments below. If you're intrigued by these spine-chilling mysteries based on true events, like this video and subscribe to our channel for weekly updates on enthralling cases just like this one.